Two boys missing for hours in the Red River Gorge are safe and sound tonight. We'll hear from one of the boys' mothers about the search.
Transylvania University officials have installed their 26th president. We'll tell you more about him coming up.
A heads up for Taylor Swift fans, you might want to think twice about buying those tickets on Craigslist. A warning about fake tickets coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good afternoon. After 20 hours of searching, two boys who went missing in Wolfe County at the Red River Gorge are back with their parents tonight.
5-year-old Michael Esposito and 7-year-old Adrian Ross disappeared from the Coomer campground around 6 last night, and crews managed to find them about 1 this afternoon. Hillary Thornton is live in Wolfe County with our top story tonight. And Hillary, how are the boys doing right now?
Hey there, Amber and Jennifer. Those two boys are okay and back with their families. Everyone involved out here smiling, as it is the ending they had all hoped for, but while also throughout the day fearing the worst. It was a race against the clock, with the time out in the Red River Gorge alone being the biggest concern crews had for the 5-year-old and 7-year-old. More than 130 rescuers from multiple agencies searched on the ground and from the air, doing a grid search of more than 1,000 acres before finding the boys a few miles from the campsite just before 2 o'clock this afternoon. A team with the U.S. Forest Service found the boys after calling out and getting a response from them. This coming after hours of searching showed no signs of the boys. The mother of 5-year-old Michael says she was hopeful the boys made it through the first night, but worried as 24 hours alone in the woods approached, especially with storms moving in.
I knew if it rained and then they were out in the rain, and especially if they spent a second night wet and cold, that it just would not be good. So I just kept praying, find them before the rain, and 30 minutes before the rain, that's when they were found. And so it's just like God was with them the whole time. And I mean, you're always panicked, but I just had like this feeling that God was with them the whole time.
Now, the families say they cannot thank those crews enough for their tireless search efforts out here. As for that family vacation they were on out here, they say they will stay here and camp one more night, then they will regroup in the morning. And little Michael, who we saw after he was checked out in an ambulance, said he's happy about that decision because he still has 2 more nights to spend out here at Red River Gorge. For now, live in Wolfe County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you. They're still on an adventure, so they want to stay. Coming up on WKYT News at 6, we'll hear from one of the boys rescued this afternoon.
Rescue crews found the boys just in time before storms moved in. It's been a wet afternoon.
It has, and with the rain comes some cooler temperatures. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at your forecast.
Yeah, getting rather chilly out there over the next 24 hours into much of central and eastern Kentucky. Gloomy conditions for your Friday. Boy, those rains arriving this afternoon right on cue. Rumbles of thunder, as we talked about, too. Right now in Lexington, we've got that gray kind of ugly sky, a little bit of light rain, some mist and some drizzle out there, and those temperatures already dropping into the low and mid 60s. If you're heading out to high school football games by the fourth quarter, could see some upper 40s start to show up. Defender continuing to track rain out there. Farther south and southeast that we go, it is pretty heavy now, and some thunder and lightning from Harlan County back into southern Laurel County, parts of Manchester, Clay County. How about Barberville into Knox County? Thunder and lightning into Williamsburg and Whitley City, too. Now, the farther north that we get, rains become much more scattered in nature across parts of the Bluegrass region. Northeastward we go across the I-64 corridor. So the evening showers gradually tapering off, leading us into a chilly but an overall great fall weekend. Then we've got other cold fronts that show up in your 7-day forecast here in less than 10 minutes.
New tonight, a man charged for a crash in Scott County that killed a teenager has been arraigned. A judge originally postponed 33-year-old Mohamed Abdullah's arraignment so an interpreter could be there. Today, a judge reduced Abdullah's bond. The judge also told Abdullah he has to stay in Kentucky and has to be monitored 24 hours a day. Police say Abdullah was driving recklessly in May when his car hit a pickup, killing 13-year-old Emily Sams and injuring her parents. In Fayette County, the coroner still has not released the name of a man killed in a crash this morning in Lexington. Police say a white SUV clipped a semi-truck, swerved into the other lane, and crashed into a flatbed truck head-on on Palumbo Drive. The SUV then burst into flames. Police say someone pulled the driver of the SUV out, and several people who were working nearby ran to the scene to help.
He'd lost consciousness. We started giving CPR at that time. He came back, and I mean, we kept him just awake, kept him alert during that time till the paramedics got here.
2 men in the flatbed truck and the semi-driver were not injured.
Police in southeastern Kentucky are searching for an inmate who escaped early this morning. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Breathitt County. Jailer James Turner says Justin Talby escaped while they were unloading prisoners at the courthouse. We're told Talby was wearing an orange jumpsuit and had no shoes on. He also still had his handcuffs on when he escaped.
Quick as he escaped, I called the city police, and they was on it just a matter of time, and they're looking for him as we speak.
The jailer says Talby is not considered dangerous. Officials say Talby is in his late 20s, about 5'8", and weighs about 150 pounds. In Boone County, deputies are asking the public for help identifying 2 people wanted in connection to a stolen vehicle. Deputies released surveillance photos this afternoon. They say on Tuesday night around 7, 2 people stole a white Toyota pickup from the parking lot of the Shell gas station in Verona. If you know who these 2 people are, you're asked to call the Boone County Sheriff's Office. And in McCreary County, state police are trying to figure out what caused a deadly crash this morning. That crash happened around 4:30 at the intersection of Kentucky 92 and U.S. Highway 27. Troopers say 25-year-old Jeremy Collins of Strunk was driving west on Kentucky 92 when he crossed the intersection and hit several trees before flipping several times. State police tell us Collins was not wearing a seatbelt, and they believe speed was a factor in the crash. Collins was pronounced dead.
There's a new man in charge at Transylvania University tonight, and he's no stranger to the campus. Dr. Seamus Carey was officially named as the university's 26th president this morning. Mike Linden was at the ceremony and tells us what plans Dr. Carey has for the university.
The first college west of the Allegheny Mountains officially has a new man at the helm. Dr. Seamus Carey, the university's 26th president.
Transylvania is a unique and special community, and Dr. Carey is absolutely the right person to be leading us at the right time.
Before coming to Lexington, Dr. Carey served as the dean of the College of Arts and Sciences at Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut. While he's been president at Transylvania since July of 2014, it became official this morning.
I think he's a visionary, he's a hard worker. Again, he's a very caring person. He has great values. I believe he's going to do a wonderful job for Transylvania.
Dr. Carey has already made several noticeable changes to the 16th oldest university in the United States, with more on the way. Behind me is where the Clay and Davis residence halls once stood here on the Transylvania campus. And with Dr. Seamus Carey at the helm, the renovations campus-wide continue, with 2 new residence halls expected to open by next year. Transy students say the changes to campus are a positive sign of things to come for future students.
We have a president who really cares and wants to make our campus look better and look nicer so that people are attracted to come here more and to visit, and then once they get here, hopefully they'll stay and they'll like it.
In Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Campus officials say Dr. Carey also pioneered the 100 Doors to Success mentoring program to help current students transition from school to the workplace.
Later this month, one of the hottest musicians in the country will take the stage at Rupp Arena. We're talking about Taylor Swift. Recently, though, some fans looking to attend shows in other states have found themselves the victim of a ticket scam. Tonight, how you can avoid losing out to see T Swift.
So I didn't think in any way you could go wrong with printed tickets. I figured if they were fake, you'd tell right away.
Girls' night was a go for Jessica Gillette after she snagged some T Swift tickets off Craigslist.
We were going to be on the floor in Section B, row 12.
Gillette says she met the seller in person and received 4 hard tickets and a receipt. But curiosity got the best of Gillette, so she hopped back on Craigslist to see if she really got the best deal out there.
I saw this ad that said, you know, beware, scammer.
Gillette clicked the link and was in for a shock.
She had his phone number in there, and I pulled up my phone and just my stomach hurt because it was the same phone number.
Gillette took the tickets down to the CenturyLink Center and confirmed her fear. Girls' night was canceled. But she isn't the only one with bad blood.
I feel violated completely violated and devastated.
Sarah and Michelle Moline are two moms who were trying to surprise their daughters but got scammed instead. After scam reports surfaced, an investigation began into the type of fraudulent tickets the moms bought.
They're a hard ticket. They have the CenturyLink Center logo on them, and they will be in the lower bowl, which is the 100-level seats.
A Metropolitan Entertainment and Convention Authority spokeswoman, Christy Anderson, says this situation is different from what they've seen in the past.
We don't see them with our logo on them.
Anderson says Mecca has filed a police report. The police report states that a former Mecca employee obtained fraudulent tickets and put them up for sale. So far, no arrests have been made.
They determine that a criminal act has been done. We will absolutely prosecute that individual or individuals to the fullest extent of the law.
It is so important to note that officials encourage anyone planning on purchasing tickets to buy them from Ticketmaster or from Rupp Arena. There are still some tickets available for Taylor Swift's Lexington concert.
A new statewide poll on Kentucky's governor's race is out today.
And there is some pressure on Kentucky U.S. Senator Rand Paul to drop out of the race for White House. Bill Bryant tells us what Senator Paul has to say in the bottom line.
Good evening. Another statewide poll out today shows Democratic candidate for governor Jack Conway with a slim lead over Republican Matt Bevin. Mason-Dixon surveyed more than 600 voters. It shows a 2-point lead for Conway, who is at 43% in the survey, to Bevin at 41%. Independent Drew Curtis shows up at 6%. 10% say they are undecided. That razor-thin margin between Conway and Bevin is well within the survey's 4-point margin of error. Bevin continues to make it clear that he will not be releasing his personal income tax returns ahead of the November election. He says it would serve no purpose. Bevin appears on this weekend's edition of Kentucky Newsmakers as we begin airing our conversations with the candidates for Kentucky's top job. Bevin answers a range of questions on topics facing the Commonwealth, from education to health care, and he also told me that he has already disclosed his sources of income but will not be releasing those income tax returns.
There's no reason to do so. If it were required, I would do so. It's not required. It has never been required for people to do so. It's a smokescreen.
Is it a transparency, though, that people might see where your money comes from and
no,
what
I mean, that's why we have disclosures. I mean, we do have to disclose every company in which we have any affiliation, any ownership, any company in which we're a fiduciary or sit on any board or have any level of authority. All that is disclosed. All of that is out there.
The full interview with Bevin will air Sunday morning at 6 on WKYT, and it repeats Sunday morning at 10 on the CW Lexington. Set your DVR or catch it then. The following weekend, we will bring you an exclusive interview with Democratic nominee Jack Conway. Some more pressure building on Kentucky Senator Rand Paul to abandon his race for the White House and focus on his re-election bid for the Senate. The national site Politico reported today that some Washington and Kentucky Republicans want Paul to work harder on holding his Senate seat instead of keeping up a long-shot presidential bid. But Paul's people point out that he is adding to his Senate campaign staff and that he has a near-perfect attendance record even in the Senate as he campaigns for national office. And this shows you that politics takes no break around here. Lexington Councilwoman Jennifer Mazzotti has filed a political committee to seek an at-large council seat in 2018. Lexington elects 3 at-large council members countywide, and the top vote getter in that race becomes vice mayor. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
A unique event for high school students in Lincoln County today.
The high school senior class is one of only 4 in Kentucky selected for what's called the Close the Deal event. It's designed to help students as they consider continuing their education after high school or entering the workforce. The Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority puts on the program. Officials say it's needed because so many seniors are still undecided about their future plans late in their high school careers.
We like to let students know the definition of college. Used to be, if you said college, that was a 4-year university. In today's workforce, that's not the reality. The reality is they need to have a certificate, they need to have an associate's degree, some sort of certification, and there's lots of different options for that.
The primary purpose of the program is to talk to students about financial aid and to direct them to different resources for that.